Christian Church, I would like to invite you to worship with us Sundays at 11 a.m. and 6 p.m. Our Sunday school begins at 10 a.m. Hope to see you soon.
Choose your coach. This is Roger Patterson with the Minute of Vision for Life. Hall of Fame coach Tom Landry once said, "A coach is someone who tells you what you don't want to hear, who has you see what you don't want to see, so you can be who you've always known you could be." You don't always get to choose your coach in athletics. As a matter of fact, it's usually the other way around. Yet in your spiritual walk, the scripture challenges us to choose wisdom as our coach. All of Proverbs chapter 8 is an invitation to join wisdom's team. From verse 4 to verse 36, wisdom is personified as a woman speaking in the first person, essentially extending a personal invitation to learn from her. Verses 32 through 34 state, "And so, my children, listen to me, for all who follow my ways are joyful. Listen to my instruction and be wise. Don't ignore it. Joyful are those who listen to me, watching for me daily at my gates, waiting for me outside my home." Friend, I want to challenge you to choose your coach by choosing wisdom.
You've been listening to Dr. Roger Patterson with A Minute of Vision at visionforlife.org.
Fox Sports Trending now.
News from the NFL, where the league approved the terms of a new collective bargaining agreement that would include a 17-game regular season and 6 total wildcard games starting next season. Now the players will have a conference call today to take the first steps to approve or reject the owner's proposal. In the NBA, the second half of the season got underway with the Bucks adding to their win total. They beat the Pistons 126-106. Milwaukee is now a league best 47-8 on the year. Overtime for the 76ers to beat the Nets 112-104. Philadelphia is now a league best 26-2 at home. The Hawks beat the Heat 129-124 behind a career-high 50 points from Atlanta's Trae Young. College basketball, Arizona State upset number 14 Oregon 77-72. Number 20 Iowa beat number 25 Ohio State 85-76. Wins for number 2 Gonzaga, number 18 Colorado, number 23 BYU, and number 24 Arizona. I'm Eddie Garcia.
We are Fox Sports.
K105 weather is brought to you by the 3 Grayson County locations of the Sicilian Bank.
Twin Lakes weather. Sunshine galore this afternoon, but still chilly out, so you'll need that winter coat. High temperature, maybe for an hour or two. We'll get close to 40 this afternoon. Tonight, into the 20s we go. The weekend, sunshine Saturday, 52 degrees. Nearing 60 on Sunday with rain a later Sunday night. On the way through new storm tracking team, I'm meteorologist Brian Good.
Lonely is the night when you find yourself alone. Your demons come to light and your mind is not your own. Lonely is the night when there's no one left to call. You feel the time is right, say the writing's on the wall, yeah. It's a
This is In the Know for Friday, February 21, the 52nd day of 2020. There are 314 days left in the year. Good morning, MD, guiding you through In the Know at K105 on Litchfield's Country Station 103.9 The Moose, live online at K105.com via the Apple and Android smartphone app using the SoundCloud or iTunes podcast. We're on Facebook Watch. We're on YouTube Live. We are on Periscope, and the hashtag is In the Know. Coming up today, we update you on the latest news headlines from around the community, the county, the Commonwealth, and the country. Sam Gormley stops by with the Cougar Sports Report. The final regular season game is tonight, and of the basketball season. And, of course, your chance to win. That and a whole lot more coming up today here on In the Know. Settling into my left, rolling Mach 9 with her hair on fire, is my beautiful wife, the beautiful girl. It's Beach. Good morning, sweetheart.
Good morning.
How you doing?
I'm okay.
Is your hair on fire this morning?
A little bit.
I really look closely. What kind of hair day are you having? Are you having a good hair day?
I don't mind it.
By standards? No, it looks just fine. I was wondering, apparently the average American suffers 96 bad hair days a year. A poll of 2,000 Americans discovered that the average person will have 3 months worth of bad hair days every single year. Do you think you fall into that category?
I don't think so.
No, I think, well, I mean,
bless their hearts.
Yeah, it's too bad. It's 90 whole days. Goodness gracious. I feel bad for them. My hair days are pretty much constant. Kind of the same. All bad. She's the pride of Pumpkin Center, the heiress to the great mini burger fortune. She's Vera Wang's arch nemesis and the professional bargain hunter's woman of the year, Misty Embry Thomas. Hey, here we go.
Holy Ghost, Holy Ghost, Big Bang Theory, Big Bang Theory, Pentecostal, Pentecostal, Fire and Brimstone, Fire and Brimstone, Mission Temple Fireworks Stand.
How's Misty?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm doing well. Sun's shining.
Yep.
It's Friday.
Yep.
Good. Got to hear a little Mission Temple fireworks stand.
My husband's on his way home from Chicago.
Yay.
That's a bonus. I mean, it means nothing for me other than I'm happy that he's home. I mean, for you.
Yeah, I'm
going to see him about the same amount, whether he's home or whether he's not.
I'm taking all his time.
I
when he
did
gets home.
hear from him in the middle of the week this week, so
Yeah?
that was nice. I don't always do that. Maybe people don't necessarily know, but you have a sensitivity to weird and strong smells.
If they don't know by now, they've not been paying attention.
Chemical. Well, I mean, new people coming under the tent all the time, but
Just saying.
maybe perfumes
Yeah.
and chemical reactions to things.
If you're here for revival for the first time, let me preach.
I also know that you've been in a physician's office this week.
Mm-hmm.
Do you do the perfume samples in the women's magazines? Do they bother you?
She would die.
Yeah.
Yes. When I got a Harper's Bazaar or whatever. We get one of those every 4 or 5 months.
Yeah.
And I pulled it out of the mailbox, laid it in my lap to back away from the mailbox into the driveway, and I could smell it. So I had to roll down my window just to get into the garage. I was like, oh, come on.
Hold the magazine out the window while you drive down the driveway. I got it. A lot of people will use them under the front seat of their car to freshen up their car. Yeah. Some people put them in an underwear drawer to make their intimates smell nice, and some people put them in their shoes to freshen them up. Not while you're wearing them, by the way. Don't put it in. Don't wear them. Don't put your feet in your shoes while you put those in there. So
actually, kind of do. That's kind of funny.
You'd prefer that? Sunshine's going to warm us into the upper 30s and low 40s this afternoon. Lows will slide into the upper teens and low 20s again tonight. Look for the International Space Station tomorrow morning at 5:52 a.m. So if you want to get up early tomorrow, look at the sky. You'll see the ISS fly over. The sunshine and warmer temperatures will be upon us tomorrow. Highs will max out near 50. So 42 today, 24 tonight, 50 mañana. I have an update to a story that we brought you yesterday. The Buckles family, I took a licking from a chicken game, is alive and well.
Really?
Yes.
The family heirloom has been found.
That's right.
So, I don't know this.
I really never had a doubt that it was still around. But here's where there's a delineation between my parents. I didn't know which parent to source for being the keeper of the took a licking from a chicken. Because here's okay. I have one parent. Well, listen, I have one parent who is a collector, and I have one parent who's a hoarder.
Oh, okay. I thought you were being nice with the word collector.
Oh, no, it's true.
Okay, not hoarder, pack rat. All right, pack rat. Is pack rat better?
We own it.
A keeper of the things.
Okay, so depending upon the condition of the I took a licking from a chicken, it's either listed on a balance sheet as an asset or it's listed as a piece of junk that we wore out. It doesn't mean it's been discarded. It's still on the property, but it depends.
Oh my goodness. It better be on assets now.
It also, I told you yesterday, I didn't know who had clear title to the I took a licking from a chicken game, but it is Martha. My sister Martha was the proud owner
called Martha out yesterday.
of the I took a licking from a chicken. So I knew one of my parents would surface and verify that it was still around. And I knew the one that reached out would also know the estimated collectible value of the I took a licking from a chicken.
Yeah, what is that?
Whether it was in mint condition or not, you'll have to go to eBay and find out the value of the I took a licking from a chicken.
What else is in the Buckles vault?
Depends upon which wing of the museum you check. Would you like to have some old 35 millimeter film canisters, the little plastic tubes that
just
have
the
the lids on
canister?
them? If you need some of those, I can probably
You know what?
probably hook you up.
You know what that really is, that whole wing. It's props for movies and TV shows that Hollywood needs to access.
Bible school projects.
Yes.
Bible school crafts
Yeah,
is what
it's
that
more
is.
You know,
Bible
I
school.
watch some of these, like the Goldbergs, and I think, where do they get all of these authentic props?
Oh, yeah,
It's
yeah.
from museums such as your mother's.
Yes, museums. Right. Mhm. Collections.
Collections.
At the Grayson County Fiscal Court meeting this week, magistrates granted approval to jailer Jason Woosley to purchase 4 new trucks for the facility. 3 of them will cost just less than $30,000 apiece. A 4th will be equipped with a utility bed, costing almost $40,000. They will use commissary profits in order to purchase the vehicles. The county is also going to purchase a parking lot and other property on, this is going to be just off the public square to the south. This will be on Heiser. It's a parking lot, but then they're also purchasing the corner of Heiser and East Market behind the current Litchfield Police Department. Mm-hmm. Do I have that right? Mm-hmm. And so they will be spending $140,000 on a parking lot, and $135,000 is what they'll be paying for it for the $140,000 parking lot. And then the other land is $350,000. It's currently apartment buildings. And so I'm thinking maybe long-term county government center type of building.
Campus.
That right? Because we already have the old hospital, and then you have the parking lot, and then you would complete that corner. It would make a nice little corridor and you have the old public library across the street. Then that goes on down to the what I call the medium courthouse.
Courthouse Junior.
You got old, medium, and new. Yeah. Courthouse the second.
2.0
Right. So that's
and 3.0.
that happened this week. You can watch the meeting, by the way, if you want to look up our channels. You can find it. An intoxicated Butler County man has been arrested for driving into a Morgantown eatery. The Morgantown police chief said officers responded to the China One buffet. Oh, no, not the egg rolls.
He hates those egg rolls.
At 811 South Main Street, after a 63-year-old Gerald Morse drove through the front of the business before fleeing the area. Morse was arrested by Morgantown police soon after leaving the scene, charged with DUI, reckless driving, leaving the scene of an accident. He was lodged in the Butler County Jail, which, by the way, is not furnished nearly as nicely as the Grayson County Detention Center.
I mean, what
So many
cracks me
questions.
up is the fact that he hits a restaurant and he's 64 and he still is able to get away. Like nobody could get to him and get him.
You can't take him down.
Like how far did he
Almost
get?
got you.
Almost had it. It's like- was nobody eating at the restaurant?
It was closed. The
Oh,
restaurant
okay.
was closed,
Okay.
so that would give you some indication of time
Where's
of
the
time of day.
hostess? She couldn't nab him when he come through the front doors.
Here's a story about babysitting done poorly. 6 children not wearing seatbelts were reportedly riding in an SUV driven by their babysitter, who state police said was speeding and driving under the influence. An 18-year-old Chrislyn Talbot was pulled over Wednesday on I-165 in Ohio County after state police clocked her driving 97 miles per hour. A strong odor of marijuana was coming from the car, and Talbot appeared intoxicated, according to troopers. She was given a field sobriety test, which she failed. 3 children were found unrestrained in the back seat, and during the course of the traffic stop, another 3 were found sleeping in the rear cargo space of the SUV.
How old were these children? We've got them stacked like firewood in the cargo space.
There were 2 other women in the car, by the way, 19-year-old woman, a 20-year-old woman.
What kind of car? It's an SUV.
SUV, yeah.
So you got 9 people in an SUV.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even have words for punishment right now.
They drive among us, people. They drive among us. Legislation to legalize medical marijuana in Kentucky easily passed the House yesterday afternoon after more than 2 hours of debate. Nearly 36 states have legalized it, and the bill's sponsor, Jason Nemes from Louisville, called it the tightest medical marijuana bill in the country, and that he's worked on the measure for a long time. He says they've met with stakeholders from law enforcement, constituents, patients, physicians, chiropractors, you name it, we've worked with them. He says the bill would not allow smoking marijuana. It could only be dispensed in tablet, oil, or inhaler versions. So it will go on over to the Senate. I guess we knew it was inevitable. Mm-hmm. I think we were a little surprised it didn't go last session because it seems like if you're for it now, you were probably for it a year ago. Like there's not been a major game changer where you had an epiphany and went, oh, I think I'm suddenly going to be for that. But they finally have gotten the legislation to a point, I think, that people are, if not for, are at least going, okay, if you can keep it controlled, then maybe it won't be a bad thing if it can help people with true chronic pain. So we'll see what the Senate has to say about it. A bill requiring companies to have the same leave policies for adoptive parents as they do birth parents won approval from a House committee yesterday. Wednesday night, State Representative Samara Heavrin was on the legislative update with Renee Shaw to discuss this. It's Samara's bill that she's co-sponsoring with David Mead from Stanford. And she explained it with Renee Shaw this way, that if you give birth to a child, companies that have parental leave for you, paid or unpaid, whatever your policy is, we now expect that if you adopt a baby, that you have the same rights, paid or unpaid, whatever your corporate policy is. Mm-hmm. This bill would extend the same privileges to parents who don't give birth to a child, but yet are adopting. And I think it's a good idea. Mm-hmm. In a state over the last 4 years who has worked to encourage more adoption and fostering and making sure that children don't fall through cracks, we need those same opportunities and same privileges to be extended to that. So I think it's excellent legislation. If the employer offers longer term leave than 6 weeks for birth parents, that would also be the minimum available to adoptive parents. And then it would not apply to an adoption by a fictive kin, step-parent, step-sibling, a blood relative, nor for a foster parent who adopts to foster a child who is already in their care.
Right.
This is for making that important transition to bonding, whether it's your biological child or not. So, good. It also helped, Miranda Combs is the communications director in Michael Adams' office, and she recently adopted a little baby named Etta Joe, and when she went to find out about the leave, realized it was done differently. I think state employees, they've made this possible for state employees, and now they're saying in private practice you need to be able to do this as well. So, okay, fine with it. If you have questions about it, contact Representative Heavrin. She can give you more on it. Kentucky lawmakers have been advancing legislation that would require voters to show a government-issued photo ID in order to cast a ballot, but a civil liberties group says it's likely to mount a court challenge if the bill becomes law. The Republican-backed measure cleared a House committee on a party line vote yesterday. Some supporters said they're open to considering more changes when the bill reaches the full House. It has previously passed the full Senate. So it's already out of the full Senate. It's over in the House. But if they make any changes to it, don't forget, it's going to have to go back over to the Senate to be passed. Kentucky's new Secretary of State, Republican Michael Adams, said having the photo ID measure in place for this year's general election would make for a smooth transition. In November, Kentuckians will help choose a president and also decide on one of the nation's highest profile campaigns. That's that of Republican Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell's bid for re-election. Adams, who campaigned on the photo ID issue, later said he's willing to consider more changes to the bill. But he did go on to say this, and I think bravo to the Secretary of State. He says, however, I do think that negotiation involves getting something and giving something. So if we make more changes, he goes on to say, that if we're willing to accommodate the concerns of the ACLU, I would expect them to publicly say that if these changes are made, they will clear the path toward this becoming a reality, which I thought was a nice little epiphany, a nice little reminder for us that negotiation is a two-way street, right? If you just demand without being willing to give anything, then that's not the way that our democracy works.
No, but I think, too, in the last year's General Assembly and the year before, when we dealt with pension issues, the goalposts kept getting moved.
Mm-hmm.
So I think he's also probably sending an underlying message. Look, don't move your goalposts.
Mm-hmm.
Give me what your negotiation is. And if we meet you there, don't go moving the goalposts just to say
That's right.
You're, again, going to kick back on this bill.
You all know that I love the Andy Griffith Show.
My husband is big into it right now. We're rewatching all of it.
There is nothing you need to know about life that can't be learned from the Andy Griffith Show.
I'm convinced now after all weekend long marathons.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
One of my favorite episodes, and I'm sure if you've spent any time watching the show, you know the famous episode when Barney gets his feelings hurt as deputy, and he decides to quit. And he's leaving his job as a deputy, and while he's in the office, he starts taking his uniform off to sign it back into inventory of the sheriff's department. He pulls the single bullet out of his pocket, one bullet. He takes his hat off, one hat. He takes his gun belt off. He's got his revolver. He puts it all there, but then he gets down to his shirt and his pants, and he said, I bought these specials, so I'm going to keep them. All right, so his size is a little different. He's a little what we would call hard to fit, which is a whole nother episode.
It's the opposite of big and tall for Barney.
That's exactly right. So I've got this in my mind when I read that a New Hampshire police chief stripped down to his underwear and walked into a snowstorm after being stripped of his duties at a local board meeting Tuesday night. Richard Lee was the police chief for nearly 20 years until a 3-member select board voted to rely solely on coverage from the state police during the meeting. He worked part-time as the only member of the department, which covers nearly 700 residents. When he was told he had to go, he stripped down from his entire uniform into his underwear, because apparently the city owns the uniform, and decided to walk home in a snowstorm in protest. Like, if that just doesn't sound like Barney Fife, I don't know what does. We got to get to a break. We'll come back. Sam Gormley's going to stop by with a Cougar Sports Report. That's coming up here on In the Know.
Our family caring for yours. Those 5 words speak volumes about what you can expect at Twin Lakes Regional Medical Center. Compare your hometown hospital to virtually any across the state, and you will find we offer world-class technologies and comprehensive healthcare solutions far exceeding your expectations. But equally important to what we can do is how we do it. The hometown touch, the personal care. Set us apart and leave you on the road to recovery and restoration with a new sense of trust and confidence. Twin Lakes Regional Medical Center.
It's time to shake things up at breakfast with chicken. Sure, you could have the same old, or you could bite into the sweet taste of maple in griddle cakes and a crispy McChicken filet, the Chicken McGriddles, or the McChicken biscuit, a perfectly baked buttermilk biscuit brushed with real butter with the same flavorful chicken filet. Get 2 of the same or 1 of each for $3, and add any size Coke for $1. Prices and participation may vary. Single item at regular price cannot be combined with combo meal.
No matter the season, the weather can have a huge impact on your energy bills.
Looks like it's gonna be a scorcher, folks.
But at KU, we're empowering you to save with lots of quick, easy tips. If your heat or AC is on, make sure your exterior doors are shut tight. When it's hot outside, close your curtains or blinds to block the sun's heat. And open them in the winter to let the sun's heat warm your home.
Find more great ways to save at lge-ku.com/tips.
CBS is going to turn on the faucet of shows for its streaming library in 2020. Thanks to the merger of CBS and Viacom, the All Access service will soon gain up to 30,000 episodes of TV, as well as up to 1,000 movies from the likes of Nickelodeon, Comedy Central, BET, MTV, as well as movies from Paramount. Viacom CBS is going to offer 3 different tiers of streaming service. All Access is the middle one, which will be free. So will their bottom tier, Pluto TV, with the premium pay service being Showtime. Can't pay off your medical bills? You might want to consider crowdsourcing them. Researchers at the University of Chicago say approximately 20% of Americans have contributed to a campaign to pay off someone's medical bills. 8 million Americans have started a campaign to help pay for medical expenses for themselves or someone in their household, while 12 million have started a campaign for someone else. Legendary drag performer and TV star RuPaul is now offering a 16-lesson course through online platform Masterclass on how to find your identity and live your best life. Class costs $90. Tech Report, Larry.
Today is card reading day. Make it greeting cards. Don't read tarot cards. Just get greeting cards for the day. It's also single tasking day today. Focus on doing a single task at a time. What's that? Single tasking. Tomorrow is Be Humble Day. If you like to say humble or humble, whichever you like. Tomorrow is World Thinking Day, and Sunday is Curling is Cool Day.
Oh, I love curling.
Celebrating curling. He's the 5-time winner of the coveted Ohio News Hawk Award, 2-time Silver Sound nominee, covering every corner of the globe. London, Moscow, Paris, Brownsville. And the captain of our curling team, Sam Gormley, and the sports. Morning, Sam.
Morning, Ralph.
How you doing?
Good. You were giving me like flashbacks there from last night when you mentioned Brownsville. I started shaking a little bit in my shoes.
Got PTSD from
yeah,
Brownsville
100%, yeah.
Everybody got shell-shocked yesterday.
Yeah, in more ways than one.
Broadcast crew got shell-shocked. 2 teams got shell-shocked. We'll talk about that momentarily. But before I move on, I guess it came as a surprise to you that you're the captain of our curling team.
Yeah, 100%. I thought that would have been Ken Hallett, no doubt.
You're in charge of picking out the pants.
It's the pants.
It's your job to pick out the curling pants so that we look good. Fair enough?
American flag all the way.
All right, let's go through the weekend Cougar sports. Let's go back to last Friday night when the Lady Cougars beat Whitesville Trinity in a trouncing 85-55, but a big night for Kenzie Renfro.
Yeah, she had a career-high 39. Game was tied at halftime, and Lady Cougars outscored her by 30 in the second half, picking up the 30-point win. Kenzie had a career-high 39 points in the win, and she was 3 away from the school record, which Don Brown says is 42. So she was 3 away from that, and she missed about 8 free throws in that game. So it was a little bit like, oh, man, so close.
A little bit into a glimpse into the future when an 8th grader got in. Of course, in a lopsided victory like that, Sydney Perkins had 8 points?
6 points.
6 points?
So,
8th grader, 6 points. Got it.
An 8th grader scoring 6 points, though, is really good.
All
Misty,
her basketball skill.
You kind of know her, don't you?
Her skills come from her Aunt Misty?
I trained her in all things that she knows about basketball.
Okay, yeah, that makes
and curling.
sense. You're
She's a
pretty
great
much like
curler.
John Calipari.
It's clear. On the boys' side of things, the Cougars defeated the Raiders 61-59 to snap a 7-game losing streak, a long losing streak by Cougar standards, but it was good to get a win.
Oh, yeah, and you could tell Coach Johnson and the team after the game, it was just like that huge weight was just gone because the monkey is off the back.
Yeah.
And it's just been one of those seasons. But all that matters is next week.
On Saturday, the Cougar boys back in action early against a game that it got added, I won't say out of nowhere, but it's an odd opponent at an odd time and odd to be added late, right?
Yeah, they played St. Mary, which is based out of Paducah, on Saturday at 1:30, right in the middle of the UK game. They won 61-47, played really well. Keegan Sharp and Nolan Schartzer both had big games, and that was playing 2 games in 16 hours. I mean, because they had played that Trinity game didn't get tipped off till like 8:15 Friday night. So, I mean, played back again at 1:30, so it was a quick turnaround.
Madisonville North Hopkins came to town to face the Lady Cougars, and Madisonville North Hopkins, good team, gave the Lady Cougars an opportunity to measure where they are on the grand scale, on the grand stage across the state. The Maroons,
yes,
right, but
yes.
just an 11-point win. Is that right?
No.
Sorry, 77-43.
Yeah,
glanced
no,
at the
it
wrong
was,
one. Then Monday, the Lady Cougars lost to Muhlenberg County, 75-61. I think you're going to tell me they got behind and they started in a hole and just couldn't dig their way out.
Yeah, they got it to within 4 at 24-20, and it was another one of those where they got a little bit. Muhlenberg would go up, and then at the end, Muhlenberg just kind of ran away with it. And by that point, it was just like, well, heck, let's just get out of Greenville and head back to Litchfield.
Sure. To go for the boys, they went lost 7 in a row, and then by the time we got to early this week, had put on a 3-game win streak, and so you had to be feeling somewhat better after the Davis County game.
Yeah, they won that one by 11 points. Second time they'd beaten the Panthers this season, as they won that one 57-46. I mean, a third straight win. It's just this time of year is all about getting into that role, because it doesn't matter how many games you win. Uncle Mo.
Momentum.
Momentum. Is
sure.
You got to get into that routine, and you got to learn how to win in some ways.
So last night was a fulfillment.
You want to just move on and
let's just talk about Hancock County. So last night was a contest that was rescheduled from
the 8th of February.
Yeah, 2 weeks ago tomorrow night.
Tonight.
2 weeks ago tonight, right? This is Friday. And so it makes for a weird Thursday night doubleheader, 24 hours in advance of an already scheduled doubleheader. Cougars and Lady Cougars have to go on the road for the home and home aspect with the border rivals, Edmonson County. And things just didn't start off well.
Where do we begin?
That's what I would ask you. I was completely surprised by the final score of the girls' game.
You and me both. 64-33 was the final score of that game, and I legitimately had no words to describe what we were watching. I know that I asked the illustrious Don Brown and said, have you seen anything like this? And he said no. And obviously those games he probably tries to block from his memory to never remind himself of something like that again. But it was just against Edmonson County in a district rivalry game. It just was ugly. I mean, there's no other way to put it. And Coach Hill said that post game as well with us.
A few weeks ago, what was the difference in this matchup than the last matchup between these two? I mean, what was Edmonson County able to do this time they weren't able to do last time? Make shots?
It was just Grayson County shot the ball 22%, and you're not going to win any games. And then Edmonson County destroyed them on the boards.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the Lady Cougars in a 4-quarter game had 22 rebounds when they averaged pulling down about 36 a game.
Was our goal 11 feet? Did they raise ours up to 11 feet?
It felt like it was almost about 15 feet, just the way that it went. And, they couldn't buy a shot. They shot 9% from 3. It was just ugly. There's no other way to put it.
So the Lady Cougars played themselves down to a 2 seed?
Yeah.
Is that right?
They ended up tying at 5-1 in the district, which went down to a drawing, and they did the drawing after the boys' game. And in a lot of instances, they didn't necessarily deserve the 1 seed after losing by 31 points.
Right. Yeah.
So they ended up drawing the 2, and they'll have to play Butler County.
Things didn't get really much better in the second game of the twin bill last night. The Cougars lost 53-41 to the Wildcats. Wildcats. Neither of those teams are particularly good right now, correct?
Edmonson County's, both teams I think are very even. When you look at it, they're just two different things. And I know Coach Johnston it's a weird way to coach this game because he knew going into that he was going to be playing them again in 5 days on Tuesday. So
right.
It's just a weird way to coach a game because all that mattered in that game is what jersey you might be wearing. If Edmonson County won, which they did, it now goes down to a drawing to see which team wears the white jersey and which team wears the road jersey. So it really meant nothing.
It was a jersey game?
Yeah.
I did see in your notes, though, that you said the game meant nothing, and I thought, now, Sam, you've been around long enough to know that all of them involving those two schools, no matter the sport, matter.
They do matter.
It didn't matter as far as next week goes and the seeding.
But then again, I think if you asked anyone involved in that game if they'd rather win last night or rather win Tuesday, every single one of them would take Tuesday.
Tuesday's a must-win.
Exactly, because
I mean,
Tuesday you lose and it's it. That's it.
right.
Done. Season over.
If you lose Tuesday, it's baseball season.
Yeah.
Right?
Which is crazy to sit and think about that
Yeah.
we've already gotten to the point where it's baseball.
Absolutely. So tonight will be senior night at Grayson County High School as the El Hornets of Hancock County will come to town for another twin bill. I'd say both those squads need to get things together and get Uncle Mo back on their side.
Yeah, the girls need a win. They beat Hancock County earlier this season up at Hancock County 69-62 in overtime. They just need a win. There's just no other way to put it. I mean, they've lost 3 in a row now. It's their longest losing streak. And the issue is that this isn't 3 in a row where they lost one by 5, lost one by 3 points. I mean, they've lost 2 of them by 30 plus, and one of them was by 14 points. So they need a win in the worst kind of way to not just go completely limping into the district tournament next week.
Going to do senior recognition between the games tonight, right?
Correct.
So Jenna Nash, Laura Vincent, Kenzie Renfro, Bailey Snyder will all be recognized for their careers at Grayson County High School. Nolan Schartzer on the boys' side, the only senior on Coach Travis Johnston's squad. What do you make of the game tonight? You going to have any predictions?
I mean, the Lady Cougars have beaten Hancock County already, and I mean, they need a win. There is no other way to put it. In all seriousness, Monday is the must-win, but in a lot of instances, I think this game is a must-win, too. They just need to get back that W and feel good about themselves going into Monday. The boys, Hancock County, shoots the 3 like crazy. They average just under 10 threes a game. They shoot over 40% from 3. They're going to shoot a lot of 3s, but offensively, they turn the ball over a lot. So the question is, can Grayson County force turnovers and move into that?
So important to close the chapter on the regular season and get ready for next week's postseason action, and the brackets are set. Kind of tell us about the girls' bracket on Monday.
So the girls, if you look at it, the number 1 seed, Edmonson County, will play Whitesville Trinity. That game will be Monday at 6 p.m., and the Lady Cougars will face Butler County in Game 2, 7:45-ish, depending on what time the Game 1 will end. Grayson County's beaten Butler County twice this season, as they've got them on both floors. But again, it as they always say, you can never beat a team 3 times in one season, which I don't necessarily believe in at all.
I've not heard the word never, but I've heard the word hard.
Yeah,
it's hard to defeat a team 3 times in the same season.
Exactly, which there is probably some truth to that, but I'm not 100% believer in just that.
Then the Tuesday night bracket, the boys will square up.
Yep, Butler County and Whitesville Trinity in the first game. That game's at 6 o'clock, and then the Cougar boys in Edmonson County, the rivalry game on Tuesday at about 7:45, again, depending. And that game will be on the Moose instead of on K105.
Girls Championship will be on Thursday. Boys Championship will be on Friday, and then we get set for the 3rd region tournament. Just going to put you on the spot. Who's going to win the region? Who's going to win the boys region, you think? Breck County's got a Mr. Basketball candidate.
I would probably lean towards, I think you got Ohio, Owensboro, and Breck.
Okay.
I think are your three favorites.
All right, who's going to come out of the girls region?
See, the girls, and Coach Hill and I were talking about this last night, that there are, in my opinion, 8 teams that could win it.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to pick, I'll pick Apollo.
All right. Let's talk a little bit about district tournament coverage. And you and I haven't actually compared notes on this, so I'm just going to renegade this just a little bit. Next week, here's what you can expect. You'll have a radio broadcast of all the Cougar games next week. You will have an audio broadcast on our social media channels live. You will have a delayed video broadcast of the Cougar games on our social media channels, our digital channels next week. And you say, why the digital channels? Well, we'll tell you what we were told. The Edmonson County, Butler County, and Whitesville Trinity all voted as schools, as participants and members of the 12th District, to not allow live video streaming of the district tournament, as we have done all season long, even though the tournament is at Grayson County High School, and Grayson County High School says their vote was to allow it. So we will have a 12-hour embargo on our video coverage of the district tournament games, but you'll be able to hear the games on Facebook Watch, on YouTube Live, on Periscope, as the same way that you listen on radio. Did I cover that okay?
I think you nailed it. So.
Did I leave anything out?
I don't think so.
Misty doesn't even look confused. You understand it, Misty?
I totally understood that.
Okay, so I did it
So,
pretty well.
Thanks.
We'll still have audio for you. It'll be way to...
Welcome to the 21st century. Florida tomorrow. The Gators come to Lexington. What do you think?
No, I'm going. So my dad and I are going. So I got to pick a win if I'm going to be there.
So a loss gets blamed on you?
Blame it on my dad. We'll just we'll throw it on him.
All right, very good. Coverage starts what time tonight?
5:40.
5:40 on K105 and on K105 Digital Productions as Hancock County comes to town. Thanks for stopping by, Sam.
Thank you.
And again, that's Sam Gormley. He'll have the call tonight of all the Cougar actions. We wrap up the regular season. Got to get to a break. Today's water cooler question. Your chance to win coming up here on In the Know.
I'm Andrew Saul, Commissioner of Social Security. Beware of telephone scammers pretending to be government employees. Real Social Security employees will never threaten you. Callers threatening you with arrest or other legal action and demanding money are not from us. If you receive a call like this, hang up, do not provide them with any form of payment or information. Report the call at oig.ssa.gov.
I was in the hospital with my son for 18 months.
When he got injured, I knew I had to be strong.
I just remember rushing into his room and giving him a big hug and letting him know I was there.
These veterans and families are just a few of the heroes we serve at Homes for Our Troops. We build specially adapted custom homes with features like wheelchair access and automatic door openers that allow them to focus on their recovery and family.
This house is freedom. It's hope. It's a new beginning.
Visit hfotusa.org.
Chris Stapleton's Concert for Kentucky, an Outlaw State of Kind benefit, April 25th. The first concert ever at Kroger Field. Chris Stapleton with special guests.
On the road again.
Willie Nelson and family.
Just can't wait to get on the road
Sheryl
again.
Crow.
All I wanna do is have some fun.
And Yola. Tickets on sale now at livenation.com.
Been dreaming of a luxurious new mattress? Your dreams are about to come true at the President's Day sale at Sleep Outfitters with 40% off select Sealy mattresses like our exclusive Sealy Outfitters Eurotop or Plush mattress, just $299 for the Queen. You'll also get up to $300 in free gifts. Now through President's Day, get up to $300 on a MasterCard rewards card with any purchase $499 and up. So come find your dream deal during the President's Day sale going on now at Sleep Outfitters.
That boy of mine, he sure does take after me. I love football, he loves football. I put ketchup on my eggs, he puts ketchup on his. I didn't wear my seatbelt, neither did he. So nothing's gonna be the same ever again. So please, show your kids what a good driver does. Buckle up and put your phone down.
K105 Weather is brought to you by Future Designs Building Materials on Quarry Road in Litchfield.
Absolutely gorgeous as we head into this afternoon. Lots of blue sky. Still chilly. High temperature right around that 40-degree mark. Tonight, back in the 20s. But tomorrow, more blue sky. But this time, a big jump into the lower 50s and nearing 60 with clouds increasing Sunday. On the way through new storm tracking team, I'm meteorologist Brian Good.
They can feel it all over. They can feel it all over. Come on, go!
Did you know 95% of the paperwork filed in an average office will never again be seen by human eyes?
I can believe that.
I mean,
Good
paper.
old IRS says you got to keep it. though.
Yeah, I mean, in case you don't know, I go through a lot of paper on the show. I mean, I do. If there were an effective digital solution like a way that I could do it that was tactile, that I could get to it in a hurry, etc., I would do it. It's not that I want to use the paper, but I feel like to do the average job that I do,
To keep the standard subpar.
just to keep me at a C, little bit minus.
I'm going to completely fail you all. Just
Right.
49 of the 50 minutes we're on air is fail.
That's right. But but I know that I just don't like paper because generally the paper is never where I am.
What could you do with a teleprompter? Get us to a B+?
mobile. Well, I'd never stay on it. That would be the problem. You couldn't keep me contained to it. And
Eyes to the teleprompter.
Yeah, it would be rough. Here's today's water cooler question. It's your chance to win. If you've not won in the last 30 days and you're 18 years of age or older, you qualify to win 4 tickets to this weekend's Louisville Indoor Kids Fair. You could probably go this afternoon and not come home till Monday morning because it's full of stuff. Does it run that long?
130,000 square feet of stuff.
Yeah, four, and all the sports are represented, and balloon animals, and bounce houses, and
Face painting.
all kinds of stuff.
Umazoomi, Pete the Cat.
That's right. $40 value if you can solve today's water cooler question. 270-259-6000. 8% of men have a picture of this in their work area. 8% of men have a picture of this in their work area. 270-259-6000. 270-259-6000. 8% of men have a picture of this in their work area.
All in the same photo.
270-259-6000. New at the theater today, Call of the Wild, the old Jack London novel. That will be in. It's Harrison. Y'all all right?
Somebody sprayed something.
Let's just say.
Not it.
Let's see. I'm going to give you all a 10-second timeout. I'm going to give you all a standing 8 count. Yeah, the Call of the Wild, Brahms, The Boy 2, Emma is out, and The Night Clerk is out today. Okay. You all gonna throw in the towel? This is like in boxing. You gonna throw in the towel, or are you okay to resume after your standing 8 count?
I'm trying.
I know you're trying. I'm just asking what you need to do. 8% of men have a picture of this in their work area. What is it? Let's go to Brianna first. Good morning, Brianna. How are you?
Yeah, would it be their family?
Their family is not what we're looking for. 8% of men have a picture of this in their work area. Morgan, what's your guess, Morgan?
Would it be their pet?
Their pet is not what we're looking
I
for.
said
Keep
pet.
trying. 270-259-6000. 8%. Again, only 8% of men, 8 out of 100, have a picture of this in their work area. 270-259-6000. Not exactly. AT&T's Warner Media has expanded a distribution deal with YouTube TV to include upcoming service of HBO Max when it launches in the spring. YouTube's over-the-top platform will also add HBO and Cinemax to its lineup, along with TBS, TNT, True TV, CNN, HLN, Turner Classic Movies, Adult Swim, and Cartoon Network. That means you may be able to watch the NCAA tournament on YouTube TV this year. No. Go to Morgan. What's your guess, Morgan?
Would it be their vehicle?
I'm going to need you to be more specific.
A car or truck?
I'm going to need you to be more specific.
Their truck.
A truck is correct. Their
Good job,
truck.
Morgan.
Bigger the picture of the truck, shorter the man.
Amen to that.
Hang on, Morgan. Congratulations. Have fun at the Louisville Indoor Kids Fair this weekend.
Only 8%.
That's kind of surprised me. I thought it would be kind of higher than that. You know.
I have a picture of my husband's Trans Am on my desk.
Yes.
He's sitting in front of it.
That's okay.
Yes, it's okay.
Yeah, it's all right.
It's sexy as heck.
A Build-A-Bear has finally unveiled its coveted Baby Yoda. If you're a fan of The Mandalorian, you'll be able to make
That's
your
cute.
own The Child or Baby Yoda, however, whatever you call, at Build-A-Bear coming up. And fans, we've been talking about the new hologram show in the United Kingdom starring Whitney Houston. It's a live orchestra and then a hologram of Whitney Houston. And the people that saw it dragged it. They say it's terrible. They said it's just, I don't want to see a hologram. I'd rather watch old video performances of Whitney Houston performing than see
popcorn and a nice seat.
Absolutely, right? I don't want to see a hologram stuff. We got to get to a break. We'll come back, finish it up for the week here on In the Know.
Here's a quote. I quit. I don't want to be a mother anymore. Have you ever said that, Mom? Sarah Perry did. She blurted out, I quit, one day in a moment of high stress and low energy. Something every mother can understand. Sarah's husband was traveling, and she was caring for 3 children who had the stomach flu. She hadn't slept in days. Her breaking point came as she was bathing her youngest child. Even though she hadn't been able to shower herself, she brushed against the shower curtain, and it collapsed on top of them. Her frustration got the better of her, and she cried out, I don't want to be a mother anymore. What rescued Sarah was her little boy, who was too young to appreciate the stress his mother was under. And when she said, I quit, he looked at her and said, too bad, Mommy, you gotta do this. Some days, being a mom feels like jumping out of an airplane and hoping your parachute will open. In a workplace, you might earn respect along with income. At home, you're surrounded by little people who think you're a babysitter or a maid. And they don't always say thank you for the grilled cheese you made for them. What helped Sarah was learning to see her true value as mom. Good parenting can't always be measured by daily accomplishments. Beneath all the laundry, dirty dishes, and the toys you clean up again and again, not to mention the Legos you step on, what matters a whole lot more is that you're shaping your child's life through your love and influence. Mom, you gotta do this. And the good news is, you can. From Focus on the Family, I'm Jim Daly.
Been dreaming of a luxurious new mattress? Your dreams are about to come true at the President's Day sale at Sleep Outfitters with 40% off select Sealy mattresses, like our exclusive Sealy Outfitters Eurotop or Plush mattress, just $299 for the Queen. You'll also get up to $300 in free gifts. Now through President's Day, get up to $300 on a MasterCard Rewards card with any purchase $4.99 and up. So come find your dream deal during the President's Day sale, going on now at Sleep Outfitters.
Hey, for visiting teams, the trip to the home court of the Big Blue usually ends in disaster. But for every disaster that happens off the court or field, call on the fire, water, cleanup, and restoration specialists at 1-800-SERVPRO, SERVPRO.com. That's where you'll find the team that's faster to any size disaster, thanks to 27 locations across Kentucky. So when fire or water threatens your home or business, call on the Big Green Vans at 1-800-SERVPRO. Go Big Blue, 1-800-SERVPRO. Franchises are independently owned and operated.
Battery power made by Steel. From trimmers and mowers to chainsaws and blowers, Steel battery tools are exactly what you need to tackle your to-do list. Whether you need to maintain your yard or completely transform your landscape. Battery power made by Steel. Steel is not sold at Lowe's or the Home Depot, always at a local Steel dealer. Real Steel. Find yours at SteelDealers.com. Lowe's and the Home Depot are trademarks of their respective companies.
Seems I've got to have a chance to see him. Every night I have the strangest dream. Imprisoned by the way I could have been left here on my own.
MD's Point to Ponder for today. You ever notice how you never quite know what I have up my sleeve? Like, for instance, today, it was a dryer sheet.
Like a magic trick.
I don't know what it is, but it really bothers me when I find a dryer sheet. Like, I'll look down, and there's one on my foot where it's worked down the leg of my jeans. You know, or I go to look at my watch and there's a dryer sheet sticking out the sleeve. How did that get in there? We had a shirt at home in the laundry the other day. We know for a fact was correct side out when it went in the laundry, and it came out inside out. because that bothers me. Inside out laundry, oh, it kills me. I
Yeah,
can't.
it does me too.
I don't like it. But I know for a fact that it went in there and it came out. It's like, there must be some type of gremlin in there or something.
I'll tell you, the child lives in there, right? Doing something. It eats the socks.
A child or something. Okay.
I guess the dryer sheet's better than the ball of hair. You know how your dryer creates the ball of hair, and it's like, that's the worst.
KFC is bringing the fried chicken and donut sandwich to its menus nationwide.
KFC.
KFC, I love you,
Yeah.
but can you just disassemble? Like, I wouldn't mind having a fillet of chicken.
Sure.
And it's not that I dislike donuts; it's not my go-to order. But don't stack it. Just put it on, just like. And then if I want to put it together,
Sure.
then I can do that. Just don't,
Like chicken and waffles, I get. Chicken and donuts probably goes like the glaze grosses me
Right.
out. And I don't
Sure.
know what that sauce is on there.
Let's see. On TV tonight, what was I going to tell you about TV? The television schedule is Fresh Off the Boat on ABC tonight. Adam Driver replay of SNL on Sunday. The Rookie, Better Call Saul, and The Walking Dead on Sunday on TV as well. Today's highlight in history, this date in 1975, former Attorney General John Mitchell and former White House aide H.R. Haldeman and John Ehrlichman were sentenced to 2.5 to 8 years in prison for their roles in the Watergate cover-up. 1992, Christy Yamaguchi of the United States won the gold medal in ladies figure skating in Albertville Olympics. Steve Fawcett became the first person to fly solo across the Pacific Ocean in a balloon this date in 1995. Billy Graham passed away this date 2 years ago. Birthdays today, Tyne Daly is 74. William Peterson is 67. Kelsey Grammer is 65. Mary Chapin Carpenter is 62. Eric Heatherly is 50 today. Jennifer Love Hewitt is 41. Jordan Peele is 41. Sophie Turner is 41 today. Gone but not forgotten, Irma Bombeck, 1927. Nina Simone in 1933. Rue McClanahan in 1934. Would you like a chart topper? See if we can find a chart topper from 1964.
Come on, 88. Come on, 88. Oh, we were so close.
A story about a
Stonewall Jackson.
2.5 decades.
down near the Georgia.
I think you know this guy.
A DJ
Do I?
in a little country station.
Everybody loved him, dear. He played what they liked to hear. Built himself up quite a reputation. At record shops he stayed out late, and his mom would always wait, see if he had made
Do
it
Stonewall Jackson songs all take this long to get to the point?
All country songs from that decade did. It was a whole story. They sang a novel in 3
They were
minutes.
just reading a storybook.
Yeah.
at work by 5. BJ, the DJ, you're living much too fast. And if you don't change your ways, don't see how you can last.
Is that for real? Is that a real thing?
When I go on in, I want you all to sing it. Misty, the DJ, you're living way too fast.
Am
You
I getting
found
punked? Did I do something today? Am I getting punked?
Maybe.
I thought I was.
It's not even Thursday.
1973. Eric Weisberg and Steve Mandel dueling banjos. After it took us a half hour to get going on Stonewall Jackson, I thought I'd just jump right to the punch on dueling banjos. I didn't have a half hour to get the engine fired up on banjos. Boom, 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 boom.
So now you're just going to do a live version of it.
Boom, 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 boom.
Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun.
Oh, the Buckle skating rink in the basement. The Cars, Shake It Up. 1982. Just doing laps around the pool table.
Yep.
Shake it up.
Shake it up.
Shake it up.
On my Panasonic tape recorder.
Good old days.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't even know we were living the dream.
You're right. Goodness.
Had no idea.
I was praying to get out, and I'm praying to go back. Yeah.
Let's go to 1991. Whitney Houston was number one. This is not a hologram. This is a video. Isn't that better than a hologram?
Of course.
Just watching the videos that she made. I mean, it's not. Why are you trying to pass off this hologram like she's real? She's not backstage doing a pantomime.
She's not going to come out.
That's right.
Now, that would be fun, though. Like, I think she may be with Tupac and Biggie, Elvis, Michael Jackson, Bigfoot.
20 years ago today, Mariah Carey, Joe, 98 Degrees. Thank God I found you. She was still pretty normal then.
Yeah, like, I don't think I've ever heard that song, and I'm trying to evaluate. Is that before or after she lost her mind?
It was before.
Okay.
Yeah, I think, yeah. Somewhere between that moment and when she landed on American Idol is where she took a left turn at Crazy Town. The world first learned the name Lady Gaga as a result of this number one song. This date in 2009. Lady Gaga has traveled a lot of ground since 2009.
Yeah, and I can't tell you I love any of her music. Oh, I know. I do.
And 2 years ago today,
This guy kind of like a whole lot.
I wasn't sure which version this is.
Safe than sorry.
I'm not sure what we're shutting down on site, so I thought I better check it. MB's Pearl of Wisdom for today comes from Adlai Stevenson, the American politician and diplomat who said, "There is nothing more horrifying than stupidity in action." There is nothing more horrifying than stupidity in action. MB's Pearl of Wisdom for today. Look forward to seeing you back here on Monday for another edition of our show. For Misty Thomas, for Beej, I'm MB, and now you're in the know.
Powered by Heritage Media of Kentucky, WKHG Litchfield, Kentucky, USA, 104.9 FM, the Twin Lakes Best Mix, K105, your news.